Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this Pandas tutorial, we'll learn how to sort a Pandas data frame by columns or indexes. So let's begin. Here we are importing a dataset from the Seaborn library, and we can take a look at the data frame that we have imported. So we have miles per gallon, cylinders, displacement, name of the vehicle, origin, model year, and other columns. Now let's suppose we want to sort this data frame by the name column that we have. So for doing that, we can just use the sort values method in pandas, and we can use this by parameter to supply a column name on which we want to sort this data frame. So when they run this piece of code, we can see here that the data has now been sorted by the name column. We can see that the names that begin with A are on the top here, and we can see the first few rows over here and the last few rows over here. Now let's say that we want to sort based of multiple columns and in different orders. For one column, we want to sort by ascending order. For other column, we want to sort by descending order. To perform such operations, we have to specify the column names in the list, and then corresponding to each column based on how we want to sort it, we provide this value for ascending parameter in a list. So here we want to sort name in ascending order and miles per gallon, that is mpg, in descending order. So we supply true for name and false for mpg. So when we run this piece of code, we can see that the data frame has now been sorted uh, based on name and miles per gallon over here. Now we can see that in our name column, we have multiple strings that are separated by a space. Now let's say we want to sort this data frame by the last string or the last integer that occurs in this name column. So how will we do that? To do that, we use another useful parameter called key that we can provide to the sort values method. Let's see how we can do it. So just to understand it, first of all, we take our data frame, then we take our name column. Since it's a string, we do .str, and then we split the string that we have. By default, it splits, this .split method splits on the space. So when we do this, we can see here that uh, the name column has been split by the split method into a list that contains different strings that exist in the name column. Now, how can we obtain the last element that occurs in this list, right? Because we want to sort by this last element or the last occurrence of the string that is contained in the names column. We want to extract that last item. So to do that, what we do is that we use the dot apply method, and in dot apply method we write a lambda function that takes each list as v and just returns the last element of that list. By indexing with -1, what we get is we get the last element of the list, and then we apply this function to the entire rows that we have in this data frame. So now when we do that, you can see that we get the last element of each of these strings, right? Now what we can do is we can provide this entire logic that we have here to the key parameter that sort values have. So here we can see that we want to sort our data frame. In by, we supply the column name, and then in key, what we do is we create a lambda function that first splits the string that is contained in the name, and then after splitting it, it applies another function on each of the string that is split to extract the last item that occurs in the string. Now when we run this, we can see that here all all the rows that have this last element starting with A appearing at the top. So what we have done here is we have sorted this data frame by the last uh, item that occurs in this name string. All right. Now let's say we want to sort the order of columns that we have here, right? For example, we want acceleration first, then we want cylinders, etc. So we can simply do that by using the sort index method that we have. Df.sort index, we supply the axis as columns. So axis refers to the columns over here that we want to sort. So when we run this, we have our acceleration column first, then cylinder, then displacement. So we can see that columns have now been sorted in alphabetical order, right? So by default, a data frame has index that starts from 0 and then continues till the number of rows that we have. Now let's say we want to create an index uh, for this data frame and then sort by that index. For example, we do not want this default index and we want to set name and the name as the index for this data frame and then sort by name. So what we can do is that we take our data frame, use the dot set index method and specify the column that we want to use as index and then just use the sort index method. So here what we can see is now that the index has changed from the default index to the name, and we can see that the names starting with A are appearing on the top. Hope you like this video. In case you found this video useful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next time.